We see an ordinary day in Hong Kong when suddenly the largest tsunami in history strikes the city, rapidly flooding the streets and submerging buildings. People flee in panic, trying to find a safe place to hide, but the water moves faster than they do. Only those who manage to climb to a sufficiently high floor survive, while Hong Kong loses most of its population in just a few hours. 5 years later, Ash still has nightmares about the horror she experienced that day. Nevertheless, every morning she fights her fear and does everything possible to survive. She lives in a high-rise building that stands in ruins, using trash to hide her belongings from potential enemies. For years, she has been collecting anything that might be useful, storing water, and setting up hidden stashes throughout her apartment, like making a hole under the couch cushions. Each morning, she heads to the rooftop and retrieves clean water from her hidden stash, which is also carefully concealed. After drinking some tea, she listens to the radio but ignores the recorded message about a government shelter with supplies. She tries to use headphones to avoid making unnecessary noise. Then she collects morning dew with a towel and adds it to her water bottles. She worries because it hasn't rained in a long time. Once her chores are done, she eats instant noodles, reminiscing about the beautiful restaurants with delicious food that she used to visit with her friends. Afterward, Ash uses binoculars to observe the surroundings. She also keeps an eye on the few surviving neighbors still living in their apartments. Suddenly, the girl notices a box floating in the water and rushes to another window where she has installed a homemade device similar to a harpoon, which she uses to collect junk. With one quick throw, she manages to catch the box. The box mostly contains trash, but she also finds a bottle of alcohol. Returning to the roof, she cleans her wound with alcohol, then wraps it and drinks to numb the pain. In the evening, she hears screams and, looking outside, discovers that 2 boats with ruthless marauders have arrived and are attacking her neighbors. On another roof stands a man who is watching her house, so Asha hides for a few seconds. It seems the boats are heading towards her home, so the girl hides all her everyday items and even throws some dirt in the corridor to make the house look uninhabited. Then she hides behind a false wall in a closet, trying not to make noise while the bandits enter the room and start searching for food, even checking the closet. Fortunately, they find nothing. After the group leaves, Asha cries from relief and tries to comfort herself with a pleasant memory. Before the tragedy, the girl had a stepsister, and she had invited her to eat to bond with her. The next day, she finds another box, and among various junk, is delighted to discover a jar of honey. However, her joyful mood is spoiled when she sees a body floating in the water. After a while, the girl discovers that her things are starting to disappear. Asha thinks she hears something, but sees nothing, so she ignores it for the time being. Then she washes her face and deliberately leaves the soap out to eventually catch the culprit. It turns out to be a child. He kicks her and runs away. At night, the girl dreams of shopping for clothes for her sister's birthday and telling her best friend how eager she is to move out of her parents' house. Upon waking up, she notices that part of her food supply is missing. Asha follows empty wrappers on the floor and finds a girl sleeping with a lantern. Instead of waking her, she goes to cook dinner. When the girl wakes up, she goes looking for the surviving items. In a socket, she finds an envelope with photos of Asha and her sister, but she gets caught red-handed. The child runs away, and the girl hurries to put the photos back in place. After that, she prepares a second serving of noodles and brings it to the girl, remembering dinner. On her sister's birthday, their parents gave her a family necklace, which angered Asha. As the firstborn, she should have received it. A fight ensued, and the girl left home. Returning to the present, we see that the girl is wearing that necklace. The child eats everything and a few minutes later notices that Asha left a mattress for her. She doesn't use it but returns all the stolen items to the girl the next morning. For lunch, Asha again prepares 2 portions of noodles and leaves one for the girl while she goes to eat on the roof. However, the child soon joins her and copies everything she does. This makes Asha reminisce about the happiness of her former life. In the evening, the girl finally agrees to take another mattress and lies down to sleep next to the woman. She misses her family, believes that she will soon build a boat and find her mother. She says her name is Hey Hey. After another night full of nightmares, Asha takes Hey Hey to the roof. The girl tinkers with the door and removes the tape. When the door accidentally closes, they can't open it from the outside. Hey Hey immediately demonstrates her lockpicking skills and reopens the door. Later, as Asha is preparing a new batch of food, she notices that her necklace is gone. At that moment, she hears some sounds and, looking out the window, discovers that the scavengers have returned. The girl asks Hey Hey to keep quiet until they leave. Later, as Asha helps the girl clean up, Hey Hey asks her to leave together, but Asha refuses. She says this is her home and that there is nothing beyond its limits. Asha asks the girl if she took her necklace, but Hey Hey says no and runs off to another apartment, hurt by the accusation. In the evening, Asha dines alone and notices that the water is gone. It turns out the girl took it to bathe. This triggers another memory of hearing the news of a typhoon approaching neighboring countries, as well as memories of a fight with her mother. That night, the nightmares intensify and Asha continues to see many different bodies in the water. When she wakes up, she momentarily mistakes Hey Hey for her sister. After that, Asha teaches the girl how to handle the building's electricity, but Hey Hey interrupts her to ask about a door at the end of the hallway. Asha asks her to ignore it because the room smells bad and if opened, the odor would spread everywhere. In another memory, Asha watches news reports about the complete destruction of Singapore due to flooding. In the present, Hey Hey uses the radio and hears about a shelter. She rushes to the girl, begging her to go there. Asha refuses, explaining that it is very dangerous to go outside. A fight ensues, after which the girl leaves. Following the child into another room, Asha discovers that Hey Hey is building a raft out of trash. She also has a flare gun. The girl immediately takes the gun and admits that she tried to leave some time ago, but it was so unsafe outside that she had to return. Asha recalls how after a fight with her parents, her sister persuaded her not to leave the apartment, but Asha promised they would still stay together. The next morning it finally rains, so Asha and Hey Hey rush to the roof to collect as much water as possible. During this time, the girl finds Asha's lost necklace, which had simply fallen among the items. Then Asha discovers a left-behind photograph and mourns her family, while the little girl consoles her and reminds her that they have each other. When Asha goes to sleep, she is surprised to find her necklace under her pillow and realizes it was lost due to a broken clasp. The next morning, the girl works tirelessly until she manages to build the raft. Hey Hey is delighted, and Asha again remembers the night of the fight. Her sister was trying to tell her that she had left the necklace in Asha's jacket when suddenly people in the street began to run in panic because a massive tsunami hit the city. Returning to the present, Asha decides to give the girl her necklace. Sometime later, they gather supplies to prepare the raft for departure. Hey Hey listens to the radio, but the headphones accidentally detach and music loudly echoes through the room. Soon, they hear the voices of marauders outside. In a panic, they begin to hide all their personal items as quickly as possible, and then the girl pushes the little one into a hole behind a false wall of the closet. There isn't enough space for both of them, so Asha will hide in the smelly room. This time, the criminals begin more thorough searches, destroying everything within reach, including the new raft. A guy enters the smelly room. The terrible odor makes him gag, but he continues and removes a few old sheets under which are the bodies of Asha's parents, causing him to retch again. When the girl recalls the night of the tragedy, she feels nauseous too. The wave destroyed everything in its path, killing dozens of people. In a panic, people started pushing each other for a chance to survive, and Asha dragged her sister into the building to go down the stairs. But soon the crowd followed them. Returning to the present, the marauders take all the food and look at Asha's photos. A boy finds the closet and notices something strange. An adult helps him move the false wall and they catch Hey Hey. Asha hears this and relives the memories. As they were climbing the stairs, her sister tripped and fell behind. In a panic, Asha ran on, not noticing her sister's disappearance until she reached the roof. Suddenly, the girl hears a frightened Hey Hey revealing her location to the group. Asha is quickly found and knocked out. When Asha comes to, she is tied up, and a stranger tries to take advantage of her. But at that moment, the leader calls him over. Meanwhile, Hey Hey, with all the supplies, is in the bandits' boat. Soon, Asha is also dragged out. Hey reminds her of her sister. She pulls on a rope, but the guy backs off and pulls her into the water. Using a broken disc, the girl attacks the man, resulting in him trying to drown her. After some struggle, Asha finally reaches the flare gun in her pocket and shoots the guy, killing him. The other marauders hear the noise and return to the building. The group splits up to search for Asha. A big guy hears her screams and follows her, but it's part of a trap. The girl makes him fall with a rope, then, using a guitar, beats him unconscious. Then she takes his knife and runs into another room, turning on the radio. Soon a bandit comes to the noise. Asha attacks him from behind, stabbing him. Then a female marauder also hears the noise and finds a can with fire inside. Asha douses her with fuel and pushes her into another room. Later, the leader hears her screams and moves in the same direction. But when he goes down the stairs, the girl attacks him with a knife. A fight ensues during which the leader tries to strangle her. She reaches up, grabs a light tube, causing darkness, and beats him with it. When she turns on a flashlight, a boy appears who shoots at Asha. She immediately runs to the roof. The boy chases her, but as soon as he steps outside, Asha removes the tape and shuts the door, trapping the boy on the roof. As he starts shooting, Asha leaves. On the boat, only one marauder remains. Asha approaches the window and uses her harpoon but misses. The girl, seizing the opportunity, pushes the leaning man into the water, but he grabs her and they fall together. In desperation, the girl jumps into the water and rescues the child, while the surfaced man is eaten by a sea creature. At the end of the movie, we see Asha and the girl reach the boat and finally set off, knowing that all the supplies stolen from the bandits will help them survive until they find shelter. That night, Asha finally sleeps without nightmares. The movie ends here,